Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tori and I would like to show you what I have knit over the course of this year. Anyways, let's start. So I have knit a lot and I have not uploaded a lot, so this is all new stuff. So I think I'm just gonna go rapid fire through all of this, list the pattern, list what I learned, and leave everything in the description in terms of yarn and color, and leave a link from my Ravelry for every single project. So this here is the step-by-step sweater by Florence Miller. I knit this in the Joanne Pound of Love, and this is my first ever sweater. Florence Miller is an amazing designer. I learned everything that I needed to know to be able to knit from her, and I would highly recommend this pattern. I did the German short rows, but I'm sad to say I do not wear this project very often because it is acrylic and it just isn't functional for my life. It is way too hot. But I learned how to do an Italian bind off. I learned so much from this, and I think that acrylic was a great choice for my first ever sweater because I didn't want to take the financial risk and purchase wool when I could just buy a bulk quantity of acrylic for like 12 bucks. So this was really cheap. I'm very proud of it. I did have to pick up and read it and make it longer, but excellent sweater for being my first sweater. This is another step-by-step sweater. This is knit up in Plymouth Encore Tweed. I knit this in the size C, the last one I knit in the size B. I didn't change anything other than that, but this was a nicer yarn that was gifted to me by my grandmother. Thank you, Grandma, love you. And I didn't really learn anything with this sweater. I just practiced what I learned with the last one, and it set me up well to knit my next sweater, which was really a leap of faith. So this is my Arctic Light sweater by the lovely Kutavakika. This is knit up in Barocco Ultra Alpaca, and it was purchased at a yarn store in Georgia. I cannot remember the name of it, but the ladies were lovely. They recommended this yarn, and it is an amazing yarn. It is so drapey. It's not itchy. It hasn't pilled. I love the color, and I think that I was very scared to pick this color. I was thinking about making it more in a cream because I figured that would be more versatile in my wardrobe, but this gets worn all the time. This is my favorite sweater. My third ever sweater is my favorite sweater. I love the bobbles. I love the center braid. I don't even mind that it doesn't have short rows. Like, this was an amazing pattern. Kutavakika had excellent guidance in the pattern, and she also had a 3-part video tutorial telling you how to do everything, and it truly made this pattern attainable for me to make as my third ever sweater and first ever cable project. I'm in love. This here is my Porcelain sweater by Lay Knit. I knit this in Drops Flora and Drops Kid Silk, and I learned how to do colorwork, how to catch floats. I learned about the importance of making a gauge swatch because my sleeves are a little short. And I don't love that, but this still gets a lot of wear. It's still very practical. I can do the dishes with it. And it's very nice and warm. Yeah, the color work was very fun. And I learned how to purl color work. That being, I hold my colors in 2 hands. I learned about color dominance, and I'm very proud of how this turned out. This is also my first ever, more complicated design. No, that's a lie, not more complicated, but design that involved more thinking. Like, in my last 3 sweaters, everything was kind of spelled out for me, but those last 3 sweaters really set me up well to be able to follow a pattern without a video tutorial for guidance. So this was my first time ever following a knit pattern without my hand being held by every step of the way. It just set me up really well, and I'm really thankful to Kutavakika and Handmade by Florence for making those patterns the way they did. This is my first ever gift knit. This is the Halibet sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I made it for my sister. She adores the deep yoke. This was made out of Drops Lima, and I did the short rows. I did the sleeves the same way that they're done in the porcelain sweater instead of following the pattern, because the sleeves on this got really, really tight, and I saw a lot of people mentioning that online, so I opted to change that. And my sister absolutely adores this sweater. This is her favorite sweater. I should probably return it to her before it gets to be like not hot outside, so that she can look forward to wearing it in the fall. This sweater is very comfortable. Drops Lima is it's soft. It's not like cashmere soft, but it's not rustic. It's peeled a little bit, but it's nothing that like a razor blade couldn't just get right off. But I'm very proud of the sweater. It's my first ever colorwork yoke. Although I did learn about the importance of catching your floats, like not in the same place every row. So there's a couple spots where the white pokes through, but it's not a big deal. Nobody notices it but me. Not even my sister notices it. I embroidered her initials into the back. I obviously will not be showing them, but they're there, and she really likes that. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. This pattern is called Into the Wild by Tanya Barley. I also made this one for my sister, but I bound off a little too tight, so it kind of cinches in at the bottom, so I'm gonna have to pick that up and redo the ribbing and bind off, probably on a bigger needle. But it has a deep yoke, but not as deep as the Halibet sweater. And it's made out of knitting frolic merino, so it's a bit more rustic, and it's nice and warm. I wore this to the Bendigo Wool and Sheep Show in Bendigo, Victoria, Australia, and I got a lot of compliments on it. And yeah, it was a really fun time, and I bought some yarn there, and this kept me nice and warm. These are my Sunbird Mittens. They are by Erica Heusner. They are made out of Semiscarn Sunday, and the colorways, I believe, blackberry juice and white. I'm very proud of them, although they do not get a lot of wear. They are primarily decorative. I hang them up on my wall. It's just too hot here to wear mittens, but they are pretty dang adorable. I couldn't resist when I saw the pattern. So after these projects, I decided to take a hiatus from doing color work for a project, and I made the book club cardigan by Sari Nordland. This yarn I purchased at a yarn store in South Carolina, and I purchased it because it was on sale, and it was about 990 meters, something like that. And the yardage estimates for the book club cardigan. Now, I know if you know about the book club cardigan yardage estimates, you are probably looking at your screen in horror. I decided to make the extra small, but thankfully, I didn't get too far into the project before realizing I didn't have the yarn. I just didn't do my gauge correctly, so I had to rip back, and after I realized that, I checked my gauge, it was too small, ripped back, went on a bigger needle. After that, I realized I didn't have enough yarn, so I had to order more online, and this project found it costing me around $250. I can't afford that. So I've definitely learned to check the Ravelry project pages, and I think now I'm a little bit hesitant to trust like any like designs on Ravelry without a few people having made it already. But this is Sari Nordland. She has the resources to test knit. She has the resources to make sure that everybody has enough yarn. And I'm not too happy about the depth of the sleeve. I wish I had made the sleeve deeper. And I wish I had knit the sleeves a size larger, 2 sizes larger. These are already 2 sizes larger than the pattern suggested. Like, this pattern was just for the amount of people that knit it, I would have expected it to be a lot better than it was. Because everybody went up 2 sizes for the sleeves. Some people went up more. I should have gone up more, but I didn't. So now I know that I at least need to look out for that with Sari Nordland, but I was kind of disappointed. But I'm still happy with how this turned out. There were a few things I would have done differently, but I think for the purpose that I have it, it does its job. And it's still cute. There's just some things that aren't to my preference, and that's okay. I definitely feel like this is like filled a niche in my wardrobe that wasn't really filled. I didn't have like a nice warm V-necked cardigan, and now I need to make myself a nice warm crew-necked cardigan. And I'm thinking about making the Dagmar jacket, because I found out in Australia when it was really cold at night that if this isn't covered by something, the wind will just absolutely, like, yeah. I wound up catching a cold, and I'm still like congested from it, like nearly 3 weeks later now. I'm still congested for it, my throat's still kind of out of it, but now I know the importance of covering your neck in the cold. Guys, please, I live in Florida. I didn't know this. So now I know. Top that I am wearing is the Star Lily top by Stina Sews on Instagram. The pattern is currently in testing and will be in testing until the end of September. It'll likely be released sometime in October. I've made this out of a summer fiber, although the original sample is knit out of a strand of wool and mohair held together to make a sport weight gauge. I chose the summer fiber because it's hot here and I wanted to actually be able to get wear out of this top. The fiber, it is called Angula Luxury Fibers Vera Sport. They're a hand dyer based in Fresno, California. It is 65% silk, 35% linen, and is in the colorway Plum. The contrast color that I used for this top is 2 strands of this mercerized cotton thread that I thrifted. I held them double to achieve the sport weight gauge, and when I got to the end of the color work, instead of cutting the long floats, as I went, I caught the long floats in the color work itself, just so I wouldn't have to weave in any ends and risk not weaving in ends correctly with yarn that's never gonna felt down. I wanted this top to last me a while. All like the trims and the straps, they're done in the same contrast color as well, obviously. I'm hoping to wear this back to my first day of school. I'm hoping that it makes me look fun and whimsy and approachable, and yeah. So lately I have been watching Gilmore Girls, and the perfect Gilmore Girls knit is a nice chunky cabled sweater. I forgot the word. So I'm trying to hold this up like men hold up their fish. Hopefully you can tell what it is. So this is the Moby sweater by Petite Knit. I have been wanting to knit this pattern like ever since I got Ravelry. It was one of the earliest patterns in my favorites. And I knit the Arctic Light sweater before this because I liked it a little bit more, and I liked the video tutorials that it came with. So I'm finally now getting around to knitting this. I had just seen some people online saying that the pattern was a little tricky to follow, but I haven't had any problems with it so far. Like, I've gotten through the yoke. I haven't gotten through the yoke, that's a lie, but I've gotten through a majority of the yoke. I'm almost at the point where you join it in the round. I am so excited. I could probably join it in the round tonight if I don't edit this video. But yeah, I'm knitting this out of yarn that I bought at Bendigo Wool & Mills. This is the Bendigo Wool & Mills 8-ply classic. It is a 100% wool. It's DK weight, and I held it with Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the colorway Wheat. The colorway Wheat is slightly more pink than than my Bendigo Wool & Mills. And I opted to do this because I didn't want this sweater to lean too yellow. Like, I wanted it to look kind of like a yellowy cream, but I wanted it to be a neutral cream. So I'm holding these together and I'm loving this color that it's created. And I think it's just perfect. So this is what I have been working on while I have been watching Gilmore Girls. And what I have a love-hate relationship with Gilmore Girls. Sometimes just especially Lorelai's relationship, where I am in the seasons, where I am like throughout the show. Like, I'm on season 2 right now. I've not watched it before. I'm just slowly digesting it. Lorelai's relationships make me so angry. Like, I don't generally take sides of men in these shows, but like, Lorelai's relationships genuinely stress me out. Like, I had to put the show down for a while because of it. And Rory is becoming like her mother. So I am watching Gilmore Girls, knitting the sweater, furiously knitting on the sweater when I'm furious at the characters, and it has been rather lovely. Yeah, so I'm almost at the point where it's joined in the round, and I want to have this done by the time Pumpkin Spice is released at Starbucks. So I can walk into Starbucks at my school, do my organic chemistry homework in Starbucks with my caramel cookie crunch thing, with a shot of espresso in it, wearing the sweater, looking like Rory Gilmore, and hoping that people from my classes approach me. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I am hoping to have this done by September. So my other project right now, this is my moon bun sweater. I almost feel tempted to start singing that Benson Boone song. Donut ice cream. So it's bunnies with moons. This is by Sasky & Co. I knit this up with yarn that I bought at Morris & Sons. I'm hoping to have this done by November. I would love this to be like my Christmas sweater. I'm a little bit hesitant to make a Christmas sweater just because...
Hello, this is Editing Tori here. I just wanted to explain this a little bit better. My boyfriend lives in Australia and we met online when we were both 16.
And we've met multiple times. We met for the first time we were 18, and I'm turning 21 soon. So we've known each other for a while. And I want to move down to Australia eventually to be with him after I finish my degree. And I'm hoping to do this as soon as possible. So it seems kind of silly to me to make like a dedicated Christmas sweater with like candy canes and gingerbread men on it. I think about the one by Anne Sophie Belling, who makes the Augustine's patterns. The one with all the gingerbread. Like, I think of that sweater. I love that sweater, but I have a plan to move to Australia where it is hot in December. Hotter than it is here in December. So I just don't see the point in making a Christmas sweater. So I am making a winter sweater. So I can have something festive to wear in the winter, because I think these are just such lovely winter colors. But it isn't necessarily Christmas. So I could wear this to somebody's like Hanukkah celebration if they celebrate Hanukkah or something as well. But yeah, we love versatility here. As for plans, I would like to make another star lily top. I'm going to make it out of this tin silk mohair that I have extra of. And then I'm going to make this out of, and then the main color is going to be this Birdhouse Fiber sock yarn, 70% merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon. And then for my contrast color, I would like to hold it with, I'm thinking if I have leftovers of this, that would be lovely. But if I don't, I'll hold it with like some leftover Sandus garn or something. So that's my plan with this, but it's not exactly at the top of my list of things to do right now, just because I want to get through my Modi sweater. And I wouldn't be able to wear this like outside for a while. And then I bought some yarn at Bendigo Woolen Mills. Obviously, I bought multiple sweater quantities. Why did I tie a knot in it? I bought multiple sweater quantities. I just had a knot in this yarn. This is Bendigo Wool and Mills Corriedale 8-ply. And then this is Bendigo Wool and Mills Classic 8-ply, same as this. The Corriedale is super soft. I'm not entirely certain what I want them to be yet, but I'm kind of stuck between 3 sweaters for 2 sweater quantities. So the first is the Sandro pullover by the Knitting Phlegm. The second is the Brady Loop sweater by Other Loops. And the third is, it's so my favorite thing's knitwear pattern. I don't remember which number it is, but it's the saddle shouldered cabled one. So I'm kind of stuck between those 3 patterns. I can really see both of these in cables. I think that'd be so cute. But I think for now, I need to finish these sweaters first. Before I cast on that, and I'm still part of the test knit, and I will probably test knit because I have time because I finished so early. I'll probably test knit another sample. So that's my plan right now before I cast on anything to do with those yet. I'm gonna have a lot of very heavy loads of classes this upcoming semester, so I probably won't be knitting quite as much or casting on quite as much, or I'm probably just gonna be trying to keep my head above water and because B's are in degrees, and try not to flunk out. So that's my goal for this semester. My boyfriend's supposed to be coming down during my final exams and a little bit after, just so that we can see each other at some point and he doesn't miss out too much on the Christmas hours during December, because he gets a lot more hours in December. So he's gonna come down for that, and then we're gonna go up to my family's up in South Carolina for Thanksgiving. We're gonna go up to my family's for Thanksgiving. So I want to at least make sure I have my Moby sweater done by then. I've also given a little bit of thought into the idea of casting on a Moby sweater for him, but he's just not really a sweater guy, so it's probably not gonna happen. But I can't really shake the idea of us having matching sweaters. I just think back at this really cute couple that I saw at the Australian Sheep and Wool Show. They were wearing, I don't remember what the pattern name is called, but they were wearing that one sweater with the bears on it. And they had matching colors, matching pattern. It was so darling. I loved it. And I say to my boyfriend, that could be us. But I unfortunately told him about the sweater curse, so he will not let me make him a sweater. So, 'tis sad. Yeah, so that's all I have to say for today. I'd like to thank you for watching my video and letting me yap at you. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or a night, and just comment down below what you're knitting. I'm curious. What are you making? Or not. But thank you so much for watching my video, and bye. I can't sit like this. I look like a frog. God, I'm a horrible YouTuber.